Hello, people. Yesterday I came home from the national championships on MyWhoosh in Sweden. Was in up north in Umeå, about an hour flight from the capital where I live. I will do this in two sessions. First, some videos and pictures by myself or people that were with me, and then in the next part I will show actual race footage and tell you more about the race, how it went. I don't want to include it in the first video because I don't know if it's copyright protected by the state television that aired the event. So enjoy it. Let me first add that when I started e-cycling seriously, was in the end of September 2025. I never thought I would even qualify for this championship. There was an unofficial qualifier starting in January, composed of 6 different races. You didn't have to count all of them, but you had to count the points race and the time trial. And I thought when I went into that, I thought that maybe I have a 5% chance, but let's join this to see and learn, because my main objective was to reach the national championships the next year. So I thought, let's try it out this time. Let's measure myself against the best in my country to see where I stand, to get some valuable experience for the next year when it really matters. And, I might have a 5% shot of making it, so it probably won't happen, but, it might happen. So let's try my best, and no shame in not qualifying, no shame in, not really doing that well this time around. Then in the first race, I placed 14 out of 65 racers in the A category. And then it dawned on me, this might lead to something. In race 2, the points race, I placed in 9th place. Then in the tiny races, I think I got 16th, 12th, and 23rd. Then it was a scratch race again. I think I placed 10th. Individual time trial, 13th. And then the tiny races again, I don't remember. I got an 8th place as the best. And that was my best placing overall in the unofficial qualifier. I was not sure I was going to be able to enter the national championships, but I was very happy. And I got very nervous, of course, as well. Back then, during the qualification, I had a Swift bike with a Wahoo Kicker Core 1, which is the standard Swift bundle. I had dual recording with a pair of Favera Asioma Duo. And even though the dual recording showed approximate values to what I was getting in the game from my core, of course I did a spin down before each race. If you don't do that, the core is going to show higher watts than you're actually doing. But I did that. On some parts of the race, the Asiomas showed higher values. Some parts the core showed higher values. Basically in the sprints, the Asiomas showed higher, and in the slow sections, the core showed higher value. But overall, pretty accurate. But I still wasn't sure, I still wasn't completely sure. Am I really doing this? Because I haven't done this for a very long time. And when I look at YouTube on people who are in category B, C, or even D, they are doing watts, they are struggling to get watts that I can do pretty easy. So I got a little bit of the imposter syndrome. I was thinking, am I really doing these watts? Is it for real? So I thought about buying a Wahoo Kicker bike, and when I got my company bonus, the annual bonus from my job, and I thought I'm gonna buy one anyway, why not buy it before the national championship, because we're gonna race on those. So I might just have it, 2 or 3 weeks before, so I get used to it. Then I discovered that I actually could do the watts, but still I wasn't sure when I went up. There was still in the back of my mind there was still a thought, will I see something completely different when I try the bike out? Will I or won't I? I thought most likely not, but you never know. And by the way, one funny side note that played a major part, I won't go into how the competition actually went, but in the weeks leading up, when I got my new Wahoo kicker bike, there are 5 different crank lengths that you can screw your pedals in. And I used the standard one because that's what I'm used to, 170 millimeters, but I accidentally destroyed it on one side, so I can never screw a pedal there. So then I had to do something else. And I decided upon the longer one, 172.5, and I discovered this is quite an improvement from the 170 one, especially when I stand up. So I thought, why not try the longest one, 175, and that was a huge improvement. Maybe by standing up on a very high gear on a low cadence using the longer crank lengths, that improved maybe my watts I usually do 4 times 4 minute intervals, and the best I had maybe with 170 millimeter cranks were an average of 410 watts maybe. Now I got an average of I think 440 watts. I mean, sure, I was improving as well physically, but not 30 watts. So I had a huge boost after getting my bike and accidentally destroying one of the holes. So I gotta thank my own clumsiness and inexperience with bicycles for that. I would have tried 175 eventually anyway, but I thought, let's not try anything new before the championship. So luckily for me, I had to try something new before it, and I improved my performance. So now enjoy the first video, and in the next part you will see some actual race footage with me commentating on how I felt during different parts of the race and why I made certain choices during those races. Take care!
Från Team Skoglunds bil IF har vi Jakob Björklund. Och också från Vattfabrikens cykelklubb har vi honom då, Samuel Brännlund. Från Seko Falken har vi ingen mindre än Kristoffer Collin. Och ett riktigt cykelnamn skulle jag vilja säga det här är. Från Bauhaus Sports Club. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kör! Där är de iväg. De svenska mästerskapen i e-cykelsport ska avgöras i här klassen. Och ja, direkt så...